I don't even think he's paying attention to this VOD. This is now 2 VODs where we've watched the pro player just like not play properly at all. Woo, he's cracked! He's cracked! Could be getting peeked by Cat. Okay, that was a really bad peek. Oh, the window!
Why was that so?
I think I've seen this a few times now with Tenz, where he's got so much confidence in himself to be able to make those shots. But when you're playing in a game where there's so much tagging and you have numbers advantage, you could play those angles for. Hello, my name is Worthy, a professional Valorant coach. If you're looking to climb the ranks and improve your overall gameplay, you definitely want to leave a like and a sub and enjoy the video. Jet. We're going to take the first thing I want to ask chat is, what is his job in this comp? Who is the entry fragger in this comp? We've talked about this several times on stream, several times in chat, so let me see. What are your answers? Who is the entry fragger in this comp? Because it actually isn't Jet. It actually isn't Jet. Jet may be the first one into site physically as a player. The entry fragger is actually the drone. Right? The drone goes in first to clear space for the Jet to take a better fight. Right? KO with his ult, exactly. That is the time when he will be the entry fragger, because why not, right? You can still have the drone working with him as well, but KO going in with 2 lives obviously makes the most amount of sense. So this movement here is all really good. Trying to bait a shot, trying to get someone to get out of there. Look at this. He's jumping around, trying to figure out if there's someone peeking from a long angle. Here we go. Sova drone comes in first. That allows Tenz a little bit more space to move here. Okay, following it in. Awesome. Closes the door, backs off. All right, he's in a state right now that's not really too hot. Okay, his team is not really backing him up all the way. I think what he needs to do here, we've talked about this before. What's your plan? What's your strategy? When are you going in? Let's see what Tenz actually says here.
Thanks.
Whole lot of nothing, right? Calm that you're going in 3, 2, 1. That way at least someone's going to back you up, right? At this rank, even in Radiant, people will pause. Look at this, they're pausing right in the main. How often does this happen to you guys in ranked?
Bro, they're on site, full shot. Site.
Yeah, there's not much you can do in this situation. He's pretty screwed. This is what I always talk about, right? As a duelist, it's almost like an expectation you're probably going to die. If you're an entry fragger, you're probably going to die. You just need to accept it and take it on the chin. Tenz has been through this millions of times before. He's unfazed at this point. He knows he's going to do well. All right, so he's forcing up a buy here. Could be getting peeked by Cat. Okay, that was a really bad peek by the Radiant there. That was a really bad peek by the Radiant KO. What did they do wrong here, chat? We talk about this millions of times, right? It happens all the time. Have millions of TikToks on this. What kind of peek is that? A trash one. Why? He's going a diagonal peeking this angle, right? This is actually really good by Tenz too, because he's changing elevation almost instantaneously. So the first angle that you're going to crosshair place from top middle is obviously going to be right above where Tenz is. So jumping down right away here is going to help him have a better chance of winning this fight altogether. He's taking a short range angle with his Marshall. Not the greatest. He does have a lot of confidence. I'll give him that. He does have his dash, so he could play off of that. The re-peek might be too much. I understand why he's doing it, but I would say that you wait here in the situation. He's feeling himself. He wants to go for it. Why not? Create some space. If he gets that kill, all of a sudden there's a win condition. His team over on A main could have made a little bit more presence before he decided to make this commitment. That was what we're looking for there. Could be pushing onto his left here.
There's 2 in middle right now. Sova and
I'm quite certain they're pushing out a B in this situation too. Just with you know this is by how much space we've taken on A and how they're communicating, right? So if we go back a little bit further, this is now practically site take, which is why they're being so aggressive towards mid. We have the KO knife over here. This is now looking like they're trying to do some form of retake, obviously, so people are going to be in this spot. We always have this. So here, one is probably going to have to rotate through here to go quickly, or they're going to have to go all the way back around, which is unlikely. So I figure they're probably going to be pushing right through at this point. And this will also have someone over at Cat. If they have this smoked off, this could be always a threat over here too. So this is where your people are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are your last 4 players that you're going to be looking at. A point where the diagonal peak is acceptable when you've changed elevation. Okay, so how he was peeking along the edge there, that is an acceptable diagonal peak, because you'll probably end up catching someone off guard.
Awesome,
Redis on none.
It's funny because he said Reyna's still unknown. I don't even think he's paying attention to this VOD. This is now 2 VODs where we've watched the pro player just like not play properly at all. It's a good point too. If you're opping, you could get away with using light armor because you're already gonna one-shot. You're in a one-shot duel, so even if they have a phantom, it's not a big deal because they have to have headshot, you have to body shot, so you still have a natural advantage.
Oh, you just swung.
All the fights you're going to be taking are going to be long range, or they should be long
Wait,
range.
don't smoke him in yet. I quite literally didn't see a person.
I've had so many of these games. I've had so many of these kinds of games where it's like, I can't even have a real straight fight. I'm not getting straight fights. And this is like, I make this point a lot for students. Communication is so key to get your players, get your teammates into ideal positions to take proper gunfights. How many proper gunfights does Tenz have? Like, he hasn't had any fights right now that have been like severely to his advantage. There's your cat. 2-1-A main. He's staying around too long. This is the problem. He's staying around too long. Like, you don't have to hold it this wide. You can literally just take the wall and sliver it. That way you have a way of escaping. That's where my mind goes. I think I've seen this a few times now with Tenz, where he's got so much confidence in himself to be able to make those shots. But when you're playing in a game where there's so much tagging and you have numbers advantage, you could play those angles for info and decide if you want to swing out on it and retake the fight. But I think part of this is him saying, I'm low on the scoreboard and I need to swing and take this fight, or I need to win this fight.
Opping and ranked, people will swing into your crosshair at all times. Opping and pro play, people jump pick everything. So it's the difference between holding like this and holding like this. I just have to hold for the fucking swing.
Yeah, or don't. Hold a sliver. And if he ends up peeking back into you, then you shoot him. But if he's there, you just call it out and you fall back and you re-peek into it. Or peek into him.
Main droning.
Jump shot. Reyna top mid, Reyna top mid.
Notice the reposition here from Tenz. I've talked about this a lot. Whenever you have an op on your team, an operator on your team, that operator should be fully floating, right? What I mean by that is if you take a shot towards mid, immediately go somewhere else and hold an angle somewhere else. Now, everyone on the team should be fully okay with him taking over a spot, because you need the operator to constantly move for it to be a valid threat. If you just stay towards mid, then they know how to isolate you and say like, okay, well, ops mid, let's just stay away from that area. But if you're constantly switching it up, they're gonna be like, oh, ops mid, let's go towards B. All of a sudden, you're now in B, right? So being mobile with the op is very, very key for success.
Oh shit.
I'm losing, man, by the way.
So what he should do here is just hold this angle. He's starting to play like a rifle. He wants to go after this person who's over here, right? He wants to be the hero. But I would have him hold this angle so that his teammates can move in. He's being a rifler. Oh my god, he's so going for content right now. Get the f out of here.
I'm holding it. Just don't smoke me off until I get a shot.
Yeah.
I just get out.
Fine.
You want me to spot this on that? You're on.
Nice. No, you're dead. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, this is so man.
Two on site, two on site.
I think
Crazy.
Kills could be close. Or push tree maybe. I think Kills
Definitely could be push tree. You need to be watching that. Yep, there it is. I make this point a lot though, Mega. You need to make sure that you put some time into your operator. You gotta improve that skill. That's like a non-negotiable, because that will literally, for anyone who's struggling for low rank, that will get you out of so many ranks. Like, it'll rank you up naturally. Look at all these people are peeking on Radiant. They're just wide swinging these angles. They're wide swinging all these operators. It's so easy to take full advantage of that when you have your operator. Okay, that's KO. Hang on. Let me listen to this again. Could he get there that fast after planting? I mean, potentially. But my immediate thought is that Silva's on site. Like, KO wasn't the planter. I think KO's the door closer. Click the bomb. You gotta get the bomb clicked. Okay, guys, honest to God, click the bomb as soon as possible. We gotta get this ult out. Yeah, so he was on site. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, why does he think he's A main? I'm pretty sure he's on site. Alright, what did we learn here? We saw another pro VOD, ladies and gentlemen, all about, hey, I'm low on frags. Let me see if I can find more kills.